More than a dot, more than a dot.
Welcome to More Than a Dad podcast. I'm your host, Lou Mobley. I'm joined by the coolest guy on earth, Dre Moore.
What's good, y'all?
Oh, man, and this collab is never ending. We have To Each His Own podcast here with us. How you doing, ladies?
Hi.
What's up?
Yo,
Can y'all introduce yourselves to our audience?
I'm Chrissy.
And I am Ana. They call me Chalk, though.
They call me Chock.
Yo, y'all ain't even hit the end. No, do that again.
What?
Because that ain't y'all intro.
Oh.
You want the real intro?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh. I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Sunkiss Chalk.
And
And
together
together
we
we
are
are To Each His Own.
Appreciate you.
Definitely need that.
Right.
So we happy to have y'all here. Did
It just
everybody-
gave real sister vibes. Let's give it to you in Tamara.
See it, Tamira.
It was.
Did everybody have a good 4th of July?
I mean,
What 4th of July? The day off?
Yeah.
yeah.
I enjoyed the day off.
Yeah, me too. Poured up a little bit.
She was about to colonize you, bro.
I didn't let her walk me down there.
Yeah, she was about to take you there.
No, I enjoyed my day off though. My paid day off.
So let's not stay there too long. So just to break the ice, we're gonna do a fast 5 where we're gonna ask y'all some fast questions, and I need both of you guys to respond. Dre got
At
the
the
questions.
same time, like Family
No.
Feud type stuff.
No, just
No,
just 5 quick questions,
Okay.
yeah,
so
the
we can
answer
get to
don't
know
gotta be
y'all a
long.
little bit better. So Dre got the questions. She all nervous.
Right.
Anna, you go first.
It's
I'ma be
easy.
Last first.
No, y'all gonna answer together though.
Oh.
Like I'm only gonna ask the question once. He gonna answer, you answer. What's your favorite childhood cartoon?
Rugrats
That you said she was going first.
and Recess. It's
What?
a tie on it.
I'm going, just because she said 2 of my favorites, so for me, it's definitely going to be like Our Real Monsters. That was my back in the day.
Oh, wow.
You don't remember that? Classic. Go ahead. And Rock the Power. But go
Is that
ahead.
the joint with the eyeballs up on the head?
Absolutely.
What's your number one deal breaker in a relationship? We jumping right in. Y'all can't get stumped.
Number one?
Number one at the top, just one.
Like you just
Deal
not-
breaker?
just-
Like
just
number,
not
like that's just your
tolerated.
pet peeve. You not having that.
Teeth.
You don't know how to act in
Bad
public. Ooh.
All right, you ain't gotta elaborate.
I'm not.
Yo, Chrissy is crazy.
I just can't do the bad mouth, period.
What's your ideal first date?
A vacation?
Yeah. Like hopping on the plane, like, yo, we ain't never been here before. Let's go. I never did that before. I want to do that.
Oh, wow.
Does that make it ideal or bucket list?
It makes it ideal
makes
because we're making a decision to go somewhere. I don't know. We travel a lot. Like we started traveling together. So when it comes to travel, I'm very like particular about my experiences. So I need to know that you down with having good experiences.
So on the first date,
Yeah.
Do you want to get on the plane?
I mean, I'm the opposite. If I've been there before, it's okay. But I would like us to go and do something at least there that we've never done before.
we hop on the plane, you don't like me, and we stuck somewhere for 4 days. Now what?
No, we're not doing the whole 4 days though. Like it might be a little quick 2 days, a little weekend. Like, no, 4 days is too long.
Little weekend getaway.
Yeah, 4 days.
Take
Too
your little
long.
whole bag.
What'd you say about the dating
And we got
pool?
separate flights.
You
You
said
got
the
a little
dating
pee in it.
Yeah, so how you want your ideal first date to be somewhere?
I mean, it's cute. He just said ideal.
Yeah,
Like, 9
ideal.
times out of
That's
10,
it.
it's not going to happen.
Right.
I'm just saying. So,
Who's each of y'all dream guests on y'all podcast?
I never thought about that.
Me neither.
For real?
know.
Y'all never had like we have that. Like we got a list of like,
It's a lot
Love
of people I would love to talk
give me one.
Damn.
One from each of y'all.
All right, if I could say one person, probably like my favorite, one of my most favorite like famous people in the world, like Mary J. Blige. That's my aunt. So I would want to sit down and talk to her about her life experiences, just on a level because I'm a young woman and just telling her my like when I was listening to your music, I was thinking about this, maybe
True that.
something like that. I don't know. For me personally,
you might as well just go ahead and give him somebody else for me because I don't even
Chrissy
know.
like, I don't even bang with these people.
Chrissy like,
She like, I don't even bang with these people. I don't want to talk to none of y'all.
Chrissy like,
No, it's not that. It's just like I'm the kind of person I really don't like to be. I never like starstruck people. Like,
Right.
I can't stand that kind of energy. Like, so I never really thought about it. Like,
Right.
is anybody you just interested in that's just interesting to you? You gotta think people dope in the world.
She do.
I
She
do.
being too cool right now.
I do, but I'm like,
Come on, Chris.
All right.
All right, we gonna give you a pass
I
with it.
can't think.
Since neither one of y'all got kids, if y'all had a kid, y'all first kid, what would y'all name it? Him
Something
or her?
with the A because
Something with an A.
yeah, because me
Y'all don't
and it's
think it-
five
That's
of
our
us.
family's thing. Excuse me.
That's our thing.
Y'all don't got like a. I mean, I understand that because both my kids have A names, but
So my brother,
y'all
I
have
only
an
have
ideal
one
name?
brother. He's the youngest out of all of us. So I said if I ever had a girl, I'd probably name her after him. But it would be Aaron. His name is Aaron, like Aaron from the Bible, Aaron, but Aryn, like that.
Okay.
Because my name is Adriana. So yeah.
I don't know why. When I was a kid, I always thought about that same first name thing. So I always thought about Kara for some reason.
Kara. All right, that's cool. All right, that's it. Y'all look.
First of all, this is not the same as on y'all show when y'all was just.
No, we're answering questions.
What are we
All right,
doing?
come on.
No.
Because we here.
All right, so we here. and we had a great Father's Day episode over there.
Yes, we did.
And the one thing that I took away from that day was daddy's girls. I just kept saying it. I was like, they don't got kids, but they definitely daddy's girl, and we're a daddy show.
That's a fact.
So I wanted to just dive into some of that and like what does it mean to be a daddy's girl? I got a daughter, but like, what should I expect?
I'm spoiled by my dad, even as a 30-something-year-old adult.
Yeah.
I call my dad is like one of my best friends. I call my dad. My dad, you know how most people be like, I'm gonna call one of my parents like to validate that I'm right for any situation. That's my dad. Like I'm calling my dad so my dad can tell me that I'm right in the situation. The one person that I know is going to be on my side is my dad. Like even against my mom. Period. I call my dad on my mom. Like,
So when you're wrong, you're gonna call your dad.
I'm calling my dad, even if I'm wrong, because my dad gonna figure out.
He gonna tell you
it's gonna
right?
make sense. Even if he gonna tell me I'm wrong, it's gonna make sense to him.
Okay.
Like I understand your perspective. You're still wrong, but I understand your perspective. My dad, I make sense to him.
Yeah, but for me, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, I feel like I'm evenly split between me and my parents. Like, and it's so funny because we were just out recently, and my mom was like, she looks like me when she does this or that, and my dad was like, out of here, that's me all the way. Like he's so vain, it's ridiculous. Like, and we joke about it, but I always say because I only have one brother, I always say I'm my dad's first son because I literally look just like him, literally. Like if you saw my mom, you'd be like, what? Oh yeah, that's your dad. Like,
Right.
so yeah, for me, like, I mean, for me, I'll call my dad with certain things, and I'll call my mom for certain things. For me personally, it's like evenly split because my dad's more of the laid back person, non-confrontational, and my mom is turn up, come outside, and I'm riding.
Same. Our parents were very. They marry each other a whole lot. Like it's really weird that we ended up being friends, and our parents like literally are the exact same. Our moms are damn near just alike, and so
That's
are our
crazy.
dads. Like it's super weird. Like and our moms are friends. They know each other, but ironically, our dads
Dad's
don't.
never met, and we've known each other since for a very long time. But you want to know why that is? Because these motherfuckers always on the plane somewhere. That's why.
My dad is like never here. My dad's a
dad
musician.
travels a
He
lot.
travels a whole lot.
Man, I need to be traveling a lot.
Okay.
He
Okay.
got 2 grown kids, so he like I can do what I want now.
That's a fact. Like so we speak a lot about like, you know, people got mommy issues, daddy issues, stuff like that. So like what would you consider like a daddy issue, like being a daughter? Like if they like, oh, she got daddy issues, like what would that look like?
They're like, what that mean?
Like
It means a lot of different things. It's honestly
Go first.
coming from me. It depends on what your dynamics were when you were growing up, like what you're used to, how you communicate with your father or the lack thereof.
Right.
What kind of trust you have with him, what kind of conversations y'all have, like certain things. I know like nobody's relationship is perfect. For me, there are some things that I might just go to my mom for because I feel more comfortable talking to her about it. But when it comes to like other, like I know my dad's like so laid back and so non-confrontational, I feel more comfortable approaching him because he's like, oh, all right, I'm gonna look at it from this perspective because I'm a chill type, like, and she a female, so I already know, like, you know what I'm saying? My dad that bull. So yeah.
So, like, without that, then like that would be. You saying like it'd be different if it wasn't.
Yeah, it would be different, honestly. Yeah, because everybody doesn't have that, and I realize
Right.
that some people's fathers are very strict. Not saying that he let me do anything, but he's more so like you, your own person, and you know when you come to me saying certain things, I'm gonna listen to what you got to say because I know I'm an individual too.
True that.
Refresh my memory with the question again.
Like what? Like when they say like, oh, she got daddy issues. Like what you feel like how that look.
I feel like it's a very stereotypical statement. I feel like people typically look at promiscuous women and be like, oh, she automatically got daddy issues. Maybe women who have like anger issues or run through a lot of different men, maybe don't have successful relationships or have multiple children's fathers and say, oh, this is a woman who has daddy issues. But
Yes, friend. Yes.
transparency,
Yes, friend.
I'm actually the opposite. The commonality that I've noticed in men that I've dealt with is that they all said one particular common statement. And specifically that statement is related to the fact that it is much like my father. And even my dad looked at me 2 years ago on Father's Day and was like, I said something to him, I can't remember exactly what it was. And we were talking about dating. He was like, you can't say that. You're a woman. And I said, and
Has he met
Right.
you before?
he like, right, but the following statement out his mouth was, you sound just like me. He said, it's bad because you are my daughter. You're my son. Like it's surprising that my brother is a junior. He said, you should have been the junior if you were a boy because you are a splitting image of me.
Right.
And my mom used to say that all the time when I was growing up, like the worst quote unquote parts of me are like my father. Like the way that I deal with men, the way that I handle people, it will be generalized that or characterized that a man would act that way.
Right.
So though that I'm like the daddy
Like the
issue,
opposite on the
in
other
that,
way.
Yep.
True.
In that aspect.
Take that.
Now I want to talk to y'all about like the relationship with your dads
Okay.
and like what makes that relationship so special.
The growing pains, for me, honestly,
Yes.
they are big.
Because I didn't like my dad for a long time.
What was it that you didn't like?
Okay, so my parents, the start of their separation started when I was about 5 years old. They went back and forth, and then they finally got divorced when I was around 9.5. I didn't like the transition that my dad took on how he left the home. I didn't respect it. I didn't like it, and I didn't respect it. Straight across the board. So in that aspect, I just felt like I really don't have much to say to you. Like, we had this super close bond. Like, I was on my dad's hip. I slept on his chest every night. I didn't even sleep in the crib because I slept with my dad.
Right.
Like, so when he broke that bond, of course, it upset me as a child. Over the years between about 8 or 9 to 16, I saw my dad few and far in between. He was what many people call today a child support dad. He was a check dad. I saw him at mutual events because him and my mom are both popular in like the gospel industry, so they both sing and do all that kind of stuff. So I saw him at different events, saw him out with his other wife and all of that, and it was just like the vibe wasn't giving you my dad and I'm your kid.
Right.
So, and because he was a check dad and he was a straightforward, if this is how it's going to be, then this is how it's going to be. I'm not going to give or take anymore. That's the kind of dad he was. So I'm like, what you mean? Like, we had a better bond in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I can relate.
right. I'm like, we had a better bond in it. So I remember one day, I don't know what happened. Actually, I think it was like not soon after my mom found out that I wasn't a virgin. That's a different conversation for a different day. But anyway, I was a teenager. I was about 16 and a half. And my dad came over and we had a long conversation in my kitchen. And I was like, well, if you think you want to come over here and have something to say, like, we need to have a conversation.
Right.
Because you have been nowhere where you have been, being able to lay down the iron rod and have any say so in what I've been doing. I've had other positive male influences, you know, going to church and all of that. So I'm like, we need to talk about some things. So after that conversation, I laid everything out on the table. He respected what I had to say. He said everything that he was feeling, or, you know, different thoughts and different things that was going through his mind over the years. And literally after that day, it was like back like we never left. It was like I was right back sleeping on his chest again.
So y'all having this, y'all got these grievances out with each other and they just glued y'all back together.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that simple. That's the connection, though. Like, when you, like, parent to kid, like, if somebody don't, like, rupture the bond between, like, a kid and another parent, like, somebody, like, not, like, I'm sure your mom wasn't, like, putting negative stuff in your head about
She
your
was
dad.
not.
Right. Like, if you don't do that, your natural inclination is for you to gravitate to your parent anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So once he put the effort in, the reconnection is going to happen. Makes sense.
But about that 8-year difference, like, did he understand that you were a different person? Like, did you?
Yeah.
Was that like a thing? Like, he had to know this new you, this older you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he learned very quickly how much like him I was. Yep.
Chuck, you ain't got nothing about why daddy's bonds are so special.
It's a lot. We went through a lot, honestly. Like, for me personally, we went through a lot, and like how we got reunited was so weird. And like, so basically we like had a falling out. It was a big thing. You know, I didn't speak to my dad for like almost 2 years. And what happened was my sister wound up inviting him to my graduation from college. So I didn't know he was coming. I had a whole meltdown in the bathroom because I got a FaceTime in this background. So I'm like, what do you mean he's here? I didn't speak to him since we talked about blase blase, or didn't talk about blase blase. So why is he here? And, you know, I just kind of had to take a step back and be like, yo, you only do this one time, bro. Like,
Right.
so just let him be here for it. Kind of humble myself because honestly, I kind of like had to take a minute and just think like he was there for everything. Like, honestly, like for real, like you got a piece of your father that a lot of your siblings didn't get because, you know, he start working more and all this stuff like that. He start having more kids. You got to spread your time out between 5 different individuals. It's a lot that goes into that. So, you know, even nowadays when I talk about like how like we all were spread out, like I have a sister that's from Harrisburg. My 2 youngest siblings, my brother, the only boy, and my youngest sister they from Delaware. They from Wilmington. So, and then me and my other sister was always between the county and Philly. So it was like he driving around the entire weekend to make sure he get all his kids, and then we spend hours on the turnpike. So I just always took into account like you can't, like, your parents never going to be who you want them to be. They're going to be who they are.
Right.
And it took me a long time to realize that. So when I got back into that mood and like he showed up in my graduation, it just was like, all right, he here, make the best of it, and you know, y'all going to get through this. Like, honestly, and I feel like that made me grow because it was like, you know, like she said, my mom never put negative things in my head about my father, but at the, you know, when things start happening and I started noticing things that I didn't like, you know, life started taking a turn for like, all right, I'm grown now. I don't like certain shit. This is how it's going to be. I'm going to speak on it. And then you kind of regroup after you don't speak to them for a while, and and it makes you stronger in a sense, if that makes any sense.
Dude, it's dope. It's crazy that like, cause like the way y'all speak about y'all dads, you would never think like y'all went through anything.
Oh yeah, bad. I was upset.
Like, that's crazy.
Heartbroken.
Like, yeah, that's
Can't
surprising.
nobody tell me that about my dad.
Okay, period.
Like, I know everything there is to know about my dad. Like, my mom teases now, you're your dad's best friend. I know.
They call me Baby Black, okay? My siblings got a running joke, Baby Black.
What you think y'all dads has given y'all specifically that's helped, you know, mold y'all into the women that y'all are today?
I can count on my dad for anything. My dad is the one man in my life. My dad is the reason why I'm so confident that if I don't have a man, I'm okay.
That's hard. That's hard.
Strong
That's a hard statement.
I'm here. Until the day I die, you always got me.
That's hard.
And I think for me, it speaks volumes how much my parents get along now, how much confidence my dad has in my mother when it comes to certain things, when it comes to just us.
Right.
And seeing him, how he respects her and her role, I just think it reflects off of that. And it's like, damn, like the mother of my children really thorough. And I can rely on her to do certain things with my children and instill certain things, and we can come together and do certain things and have conversations. Like literally, my mother was just telling me the other day, I had no idea they had a whole conference call with my other sibling because she just felt like she needed to talk to them about some life shit. And my mom was like, yo, I called your dad, like, yo, what's up? We on 3-way, what's up? let's go. And he was like, okay. And at the end of the conversation, you know what they said to each other? We love you. He said, I love y'all too. Talk to y'all later. And that's how it was. And that's what I want for. I wish everybody had that.
That's hard.
I'm all getting teary.
No,
My
that's
parents
hard.
still
That's hard.
co-parent very well, even though their kids are grown.
Right.
What you mean? It's like they still cool?
Yeah, like they don't call each other and just bust it up because from when my mom's married and my dad's in a whole other relationship. But anything that has to do with us, their children,
Right.
yeah, they talking about no matter what it is.
Yeah, I just assume like if we ain't together, like once the kid's 18, like we wrapped out.
No, well, my parents were high school sweethearts.
So wrapped out, cuz.
I think there was a lot of things that were unspoken that they felt throughout their divorce that they're just never going to talk about, that they just
Right.
kind of hash out through the
It's like they still
balance and the
friends.
co-parents, and
And I believe the same for my parents because
they
was
were best friends
yeah.
when they were in high
Right.
school.
Well, that makes
Right.
sense then. Yeah.
And then my parents grew up around the corner from each other, like literally.
Yeah,
like
that
Toronto
make a
Street,
lot of sense.
Sittingham Street type shit. Like
Right.
literally right here.
High school sweethearts
So-
was a real, back in the
Yeah.
80s, that was a big
Yeah.
thing.
That was a big thing.
We ain't the homies.
Oh, right. We the homies, but we ain't the homies. Like we come from the same
We
cloth
ain't
a
the
little bit.
homies, cuz.
Yeah.
We ain't
We ain't the
We gotta stick
homies,
together.
dog.
So
These are good questions.
Has the daddy girls and like in your dating life conflicted with like mama boys? Is that like a dynamic that y'all have experienced?
I can't date no mama's boy.
It depends on at what capacity and if the relationship is healthy, because I will say there are healthy ass mama's boy relationships out there, whereas they are confident in the relationship they had with their mother. They seek her for, different advice and things like that. Although it's not really like super heard of, like, or whatever, like y'all want to call it or whatever like that. But I feel like, because we know men that are like that talk to their mothers and that aren't necessarily, every time you turn around, up under his mother's ass, like trying to seek refuge if he do something wrong. But he wants honest, real life advice, and his mother is there to give that, and they have real adult conversations. That's
Unfortunately, I haven't dated
essential.
those men. I'm friends with some of those men, but I haven't dated them.
Is that style of man unattractive to you?
Yes.
Yes.
But
I dated
what
the
is that-
softer mama's boys and the harder mama's boys, and I didn't like either one. Like, I dated the mama's boy that, he has his space, but the moment his mom called, everything else get put on hold. And I did the extreme mama's boy where she come in for every little thing, he call her for every little thing. I can't do none of it. Like, I don't like it. I don't prefer it.
But to be fair, when you make that statement, it's just like when your parents call, don't everything stop for you? Because let me tell you, you're going to put a lot of on the back burner when Brian call.
It depends on what I'm calling for. Like, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I'm spoiled with I don't call my parents on nonsense, though.
Yeah.
Like, never do
Okay.
You have a grown children who call their parents on nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't call my parents on nonsense.
But to be fair, you don't know what their thinking pattern is like.
And that's what I'm saying. That mama's boy mentality is not. We talked about this on our show. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm above it. I don't care.
Okay.
Above it.
Glad I ain't.
It's weird because like sometimes when I talk to women about dating, they be like, it's important to see how he treat his mom.
It is.
And then you treat your mom too good, you a mama's boy, and now Chrissy ain't.
Shit, good.
You know what I'm saying? Like now you cook.
You gotta have a happy medium, because if you got a poor relationship or a trash relationship with your mom,
Yeah.
that's
just as bad.
volumes too, because that really determines how you gonna treat women.
me.
Period.
Right.
Like, we not doing Ted Bundy vibes. Like, we're just not doing it. You're not about to just be angry at every woman you fool with because you mad at your mom. Like, I'm not doing that. But I mean, like
That's
I
real
said,
shit.
it gotta be a happy medium. It
Yeah,
gotta
it's
be.
a sensitive joint because me and my mom used to go through this shit. We don't even talk relationships no more, bro. Like after Lil Dre mom, after my oldest son mom, like we stopped talking relationships because she used to be drawn like. I feel like she used to be going at her unnecessarily, no, like real rap. Cause like I'm probably like close to like a mama's boy. Like I'm real close with my mom. We tight. That kind of changed me because like she used I used to be like, yo, like mom, like I was doing like wild stuff, like I was cheating and doing stuff, and she used to be like, no, F her, basically, like
She used to be violent.
bro. But listen, she used to be right. She used to, and I used to be like, no, mom, but I can't draw. Like she got a reason to be mad. She's like, no, she don't need to be treating you like that. Like totally like on my side. With
Yo!
it.
That's why I
But
don't like
but
mama's boys.
but that's how
it's
it
not
starts.
always the guys.
Right.
It's sometimes
But
the
that's
mom.
exactly. But that's how. Like, had I just fed into it, like I could have just been more like, yeah, you right. Like I ain't tripping. But I'm like, my mom was just more so like, yo, you. I know I'm drawn, so like you got.
Dre, that's why I said you got good sense. Some of you really are born with good sense. Sorry not to put it that way, but I'm just saying some guys are really born with good sense because even in the reference that you made to our last episode, you were talking about that situation and how
But
you
that was how it started, right? That was how.
That's amazing.
That's how it started.
It's coming full circle because it's just like, well, dang, it's just like he's always able to like distinguish between like what's really what it is and what's just you being who you are,
Right.
And what I need to do for me. So you always got to kind of like have that separation as an individual, even when it is your parent. Because it's like, damn, it's like, they're just advisors. I feel like parents are kind of like doctors. We sit here and we give them all this respect, not to take anything away from like their medical schooling or anything like that. But like in all actuality, parents are not born with a manual on how to be a parent.
Right.
So like, they're just like advisors.
Right.
Like a million times, excuse my language, but like, I'm here to just show you like, all right, do this, do that, do that, do that, and maybe do a little bit of this, but not too much of that. And that's it. Like, just like that.
That's a fact.
I feel like I get the rap of being, or I have gotten the rap of being a mama's boy.
Oh man.
And I never seen it that way because I had older sickly parents. So like my natural to even go out and meet you on a date is I gotta make sure daddy good, mommy good. I'm gonna get halfway down the block. She gonna call me back for something stupid. Go
Right.
do it, and then I'm gonna still go meet you wherever we at. And I used to get like heat for that. Like you's a mama's boy. Like, and then it was like, yeah, if I just don't do that, like that's just not gonna get done. Like she not gonna be good if I don't do it.
Right.
Right.
So I
That's
had to,
different.
So I had to like just chalk
Yeah.
it. But like people, I used to get that a lot, and it's funny because I'm a daddy's boy. Like
Right. Yeah,
I feel like you come across as that. That's why it's so funny that you just said that.
No, but like when you be dating, like that's how
Dang, that's crazy. Like I feel like why aren't people more sensitive to that? Maybe because like our generation was the last generation that had to take care of older people like for the final times. Like me, like my grandparents, I was with them till their final days, so I understand all of that. So I don't see how someone could be insensitive to that. That's crazy out here. I'm glad you married.
because you be meeting young people. We be young and you don't be used,
loyal.
right? Like you don't be used to like having old parents, so people don't be knowing. Like like you said, like your grandparents, like I had the same thing. Like you, like Lou be talking about, like people like saying like, yo, that's your grandpa. Like no, that's my dad. That's not my grandpa.
Right, real wrong.
Right, like that's my dad. But like
Right.
people don't be used to
Understanding that.
Because by the time our generation, like you could really say like the generation right after us, everybody young.
Yeah.
Your grandma like 40 something. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom like in her 40s. It's really like
I had a
that.
conversation with somebody recently. They 20 years old. Their mom is 58, and their dad is like in their early 70s.
Yeah, that's how.
They're the youngest out of their siblings on both sides.
Oh wow, and their parents
They're
are like
20.
Their dad is like 10 years older than mine. Cause my
I
dad
said, okay,
is like
well,
62.
Pops was definitely a sugar daddy.
Yeah,
And got countless kids.
because my mom is 58. She'll be 59 September 11th.
Because mom only got 3 kids, and this
Yeah.
person was the youngest out of the 3. Dad got countless kids. Papa was definitely a Rolling Stone, but Pops was old. I'm like, he was tricking.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
sound
but
like
see how you saying like your parents in their 50s. Like my dad was 80 when he died. Lou dad would be 90 right now.
90 something. Yeah.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like we're the same.
1926.
And people,
We're the same age.
my parents are
Look at
the
her
oldest
face.
out of all my friends. Y'all hear me? My mother will be 59 September
like, so your
11th.
dad, like, do
My
Rose
father
and
will
them.
be
My dad was
62
born in the
on August
30s.
13th. My parents were born in 60 and
Like,
Yeah,
63.
my dad was
Rosa
born in
and
the
them.
30s.
60 and
they knew
63.
Rosa and them.
Little Rosa and them is
Like Rosa Parks. Like, they knew Rosa and them.
60 and 63.
yeah.
In that age bracket.
Yo,
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's a
We
fact.
have young spirits though. So
That's
Listen.
what's up. Why y'all laughing?
Because I was just telling somebody recently, like, yo, my dad was like alive when like Malcolm X and like Martin Luther King
Yeah, my
died.
pop too.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was hurt, and he was hurt by it. Like he was hurt. by
Like,
it.
old enough to be affected by,
Yeah,
like, old
like-
people,
Yeah,
like,
like
knew
grown,
who
like
was
an
and
adult.
everything.
Yeah, not like I just read it in a book. Like, yo, this dude was a great dude. Like, my dad was alive
Right,
when he
like,
was out here
ready.
speaking and people
Yeah.
were congregating to him.
absolutely.
Yeah,
The
that's
movement
crazy.
itself.
Like, we going to the Roots picnic. He was going to see Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yes, he talked about the
know
Million Man
what?
March all the time. Like real rap. That's crazy.
She is so
No, for
ghetto.
real.
I know.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm
She
serious.
gets on my nerves.
That's your partner in
No,
crime.
I'm serious.
Let me pour another drink.
She big.
Something,
No, it's true though. Like, yo, for real.
Her parents really is the youngest. Like between her
Yeah, I
and one
have
of
the
my other
youngest
friends.
parents out of
She
all
does.
of my friends.
Yeah.
My parents are like the
Like,
oldest.
my mother is just turned 52, and
The
my dad is
draw.
55.
Yo, you know what's so crazy about my dad is like, you know how like we,
Yeah, like-
we be reading the history books, bro. Like, yo, people migrated from the south to the north. Like, my dad was like oldest of 5 when he moved to Philly from Tampa, Florida. Everybody came up.
Yeah,
like,
that's
after-
how-
like my grandmama and them generations. Because he was
Yeah.
born in the 40s.
In the 20s.
Your father?
No, his dad was born in the 20s. My dad was born in the 30s.
Damn, he was like almost my mother's
They
age.
was with Rosa. They could have caught the bus with Rosa.
I love people that was that age though. Yo, they
Like Rosa could have been play out, like for real. Like that's what I'm just like.
She
Yo,
talking about
that's
they was
what's
at
up.
the sit-ins.
That's
See, I
fact.
can't. She's
Like, when I
disrespectful.
talked
At the
about-
No, I'm
sit-ins.
serious.
Listen, when I used to have conversations with my pop, he used to tell me like how when they didn't have
Yep.
a TV,
Certain things.
they didn't have air conditioner,
Yep.
they went to the bathroom outside.
Right.
all
My
of that
grandmother
stuff.
scrubbed floors.
Yeah, like, and that's he's not talking about my great grandfather.
One of her
my
closest
grandfather.
friends,
Yeah.
This is
slash
his
her boss, was a
dad.
Jewish woman who
Yeah,
had
no,
a
this is
cleaning
my
business.
It's my pop though. I was in the crib with him
Right.
every day. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
I skipped school.
That's what I'm like. Yo,
to
that's
take care of my
crazy.
grandmother.
Yeah.
Like falling out the chair, I can't do nothing. Like can't pick my grandma up because she falling. We laughing, and I call her boyfriend like, "Yo, you really falling, grandma? I can't get you up." And that's not funny to other people, but it was funny to us. Like, yo, she really falling out her favorite chair. There's nothing the can do. Like, grandma, I love you, but you're falling. Like, what are we gonna do? Call Mr. Dennis, Ana. Like,
Mr. Dennis.
Mr. Dennis
and
is
Mr. Dennis,
crazy.
he always came with the fedora in hand,
Dennis the
the
Menace.
fresh lineup, and the suit with the cologne. Y'all don't know Mr. Dennis, and he was that. Excuse me. Thank you.
Hey, yo.
Okay, that was my grandma boyfriend.
And I'm the embarrassment. I'm just saying.
I'm just
All right.
saying
All right.
that older generation was amazing.
That's a fact.
Yo,
Yo, hold on, bro, because you about to draw.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I was gonna just end it off with like, yo,
All
my
right,
pops
go
used
ahead.
to talk about like the whole segregation thing.
Yeah,
talk
my
about,
grandmother
like-
picked cotton. Like
Ruby
honestly,
Bridges and shit.
she was born
that is wrong.
before
Now you take
1920.
now we in slavery. Like, where did we go?
No.
Yes. My grandmother was born literally.
yeah.
I don't want to say it was either 1912 or 1916, one of the two. I don't want to get it messed up, but
Oh, yeah.
literally, that was
was
their
like that,
era.
Yes.
Didn't the Titanic ship in 1912?
It doesn't matter. They were good people. Yo, them people was good to our society.
Yo,
I'm
did we just have a
sorry.
history
It's a
lesson?
lot.
This is
Sorry,
fact.
sorry, Lou.
Definitely just went to a
Our
social
history
studies
lesson is
lesson.
nuts, yo. The
Hijacked
brother and
it.
the dad is teaching history.
That's a fact.
My bad, Joe. Definitely just went into social studies.
Sorry.
Why do you think men these days expect so much of women in a relationship?
Because they don't do enough. They don't do enough or they do too much. It's never like an even keel. It's never like balance. So, yeah, no, seriously. Oh, yeah, no, listen, seriously, because it's always like, we talk about this often, though. Think about the conversations that we have.
I'm listening,
The
yeah.
girls who go in too hard, too soon, those that don't do nothing, they just a starfish, a pillow princess, don't do nothing, and just like, they always got to remind them to do things. Like, I don't know, whatever. I'm just going to say this. The basis of your relationship is what works for you and your partner. So you figure that out in the beginning, right? While you're dating, right? And then after that, it's like, all right, so how do we build from here? Knowing that, okay, I bring A, B, and C to the table. You bring D, E, and F. How can we get to G to Z? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta keep that in mind. But then you're building on that, you're building on that, you're building on that. But obviously, some of these guys gonna be having those kinds of goals, and some of those females gonna be having those kinds of goals. So that's where the disconnect is. That's how I feel.
Chrissy, what you got for us on this?
I'm just gonna keep it real simple. I think it's just the opposite of the daddy's girl thing. Guys are just seeking what they did not get from their mothers.
Okay.
Is everyone trying to fill a
like-
void or no?
No, not everybody. Just
okay.
like some women are trying
Just
to
asking.
seek what they didn't get, what they lacked from their fathers. Anything outside of that is not cookie cutters on an individual basis. Just based on your experiences, because you have like those women who don't deal with men at all because they may have had bad sexual experiences with men.
Or mental
Yeah,
and
so
emotional.
that's why I said I'm just gonna keep it real simple on this and just say I'm gonna ride for that population, and anything above that is on a case by case scenario.
So this question was inspired by a post I seen on Instagram, and it was going in deep detail about like all the single moms. Let's just say like through the 70s and 80s, right? So like all these single moms overcompensated for dads not being in the household. So the boys grew up seeing super women. And now when you are marrying today, you expect the women you're dating
To do it all.
To be these
what your
super
mom was.
women
Yeah.
from that time period.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to give y'all that context to see if y'all still felt the same way. Do y'all see that? Did you see if that correlates for y'all?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does. Definitely. It translates into
Absolutely.
that.
Like
Yeah.
I said, and it's not for everybody, but anybody above that, it's on a case by case scenario based on your experience. Because there's so much fluidity, today in dating and sexuality. You don't know what some people want,
Right.
to be honest.
They don't even know what they want.
Yeah, realistically, I feel like the idea of change is infiltrated so much more when it comes to dating and sexuality, because I feel like what some people may like today, they may not like next year, and vice versa.
I think like sometimes like you see these women, right, who are doing everything, and just to get used to seeing that, like, yo, because I feel like these are the conversations we have on the show a lot. I like, hey, do you split the bills? Like, as a guy, do you cook? Do you watch the kids? Can you teach the kids? Do you do homework? And it's like me and my wife are pretty much interchangeable. I talked about it before, but I got friends as guys who can't do nothing besides go to work.
And that sucks for
Right.
their partner.
Right.
'Cause let me tell you something. I need interchangeable.
But it may
That's
work for
good.
someone.
Stay like that, little
Yeah.
real shit.
To me, I be it's okay. But for me, it'd be like I'm like this unicorn. But then again, like I had a dad that like got up on a roof and tarred the roof and then came down here and baked a pie. You know what I mean? And then he was tired and then went and chauffeured and picked up my mom and brought her back and served the food. So he has this. He never was looked that different. We always talk about it. He never looked that different. This dude can go in here and build a shower out of copper tuber pipes.
Right.
It was not a shower head here today. And then the end of the day it was a shower here. We went downstairs, had short ribs and potatoes and carrots, and you know what I mean. He baked a 3-layer cake. Like
Absolutely.
This dude bag was crazy.
Very resourceful.
You know what I mean? But like I feel like the crutch. Like I got so many friends with single. You know, that's like my mom did it. Like that's what you hear among my friends. It's like my mom did it. Sasha, I know you can relate. My mom did it dolo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is how you be hearing. You hear this. Like, my mom went and made $100,000, had 3 kids, paid all this. It was do here sometimes, do not here. Nothing never changed. She kept us afloat. Okay. So that son comes up like, yo, you gotta be like my mom. Like, my mom was a superhero. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. And I got friends that are just like that. And I feel like they're gonna be real disappointed because women these days are not anything like that. No disrespect. You know what I mean? I just don't think. Because you don't have
and
to
they
be.
shouldn't have to be.
They don't have to be.
At all. You should be self-sufficient, but you shouldn't have to be superwoman just because someone saw their mother have to do all of that. That was that was as a result of the dynamics of the person that she chose to have children by and what happened. Life happens, as my mother says. Life always happens. So you have to take that into account. Just because you're counting on this person being with you for the rest of your life and you're having children with them doesn't mean that life won't happen and something won't happen. Oh, health comes and strikes us all the time. What if he passes away earlier than you think so?
Right.
And you got to take care of them by yourself. Then what?
That's a fact.
You a mom. You got to take that. When you make the decision, you got to think about all of that. I don't think people do that, though.
That's definitely a fact.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all like consider yourselves like alphas, but y'all got real strong personalities.
I do.
All right. I didn't want to put the label on you without.
It's okay.
My name may start with a C, but I'm definitely an alpha female.
My name start with an A.
So. In a relationship, like, how you feel that come across? Like, do you elaborate?
I've been working on mine.
I've been working on it, but it's not good.
I guess it just depends on who you're dealing with and like what exactly it is that, you know. Because honestly, you have to be careful in how I am not a fool. My mother raised a very smart young woman. You have to be careful how you talk to a man. You have to be careful that you are not trying to emasculate him with what you're saying.
Right.
Because you have to approach a man on a different, not saying a different level, but it is. we're different in a way that we balance each other out. For me, in my head, and how I think. So when you're talking to a man, you have to be cognizant of that, and it's not to diminish who you are as a woman, but you have to realize that is a man that you're talking to. Excuse my French. Be for real about who you're talking to. Don't just be like, oh, all right, well, like, I'm just gonna say whatever I want. Yeah, you might say whatever you want, and you might not get what you want too at the end of that conversation because you didn't approach it the right way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect men at the end of the day, but at the same time, be true to who you are. So don't lose yourself, but at the same time, know that when you're speaking to a man, like you gotta make sure that it's on a level where it's just like, all right, he don't feel like you trying to strip his, masculinity away from him.
My problem.
Because women these days really do that a lot. I feel like we do. And we need to get better at not doing that.
And that's my problem across the board. It's not just with men, it's with people in general. I speak a certain way, and again, I said this before. Excuse me. I'm a very black and white person. It's no gray area with me. So it's I'm either in professional mode or I'm in recreational mode. So you gonna get what you go. So once you piss me off, no matter who you are, you can be my mother, my father, anybody but God. You are going to catch it a certain way. So again, just having to now, we just talked about this recently in one of our episodes. I treat everybody like a client now. So that's my way of trying to get better and speak to people, especially men, better. I treat everybody like a client because in me, in my head, I'm black and white. That's the only way that I can, draw back, speak calmly, say, okay. That's my rational thinking when I'm in professional mode.
So what are you working at on? Shop?
Me?
Yeah, what are you working on?
Yeah, my approach with some things, because some things I'm very short-tempered about. I just feel like people should know that. And that's where I fall short at sometimes. It's like everybody wasn't raised about like you.
Right.
So I got to take myself, all right, take a step back, Ana. What are you missing here? How are you approaching this person? What are you saying to him?
Right.
How are you making him feel in this moment? Are you really getting at what is going on? Like, stay focused on what you're talking about so that way he doesn't feel like, oh, she's trying to attack me from this point of view or that point of view. No, we're talking about what we're talking about. And I want to stay here because I need you to know that we have to figure out the common ground on this subject.
They tend to take one thing and it goes left. Like, that's not what I was talking about.
That can happen too, but with just one. But do you realize in the heat of an argument, that can happen in 1 second though with anybody. Like when you're arguing about anything, make one comment, and it's like, oh my God, we went to a whole left wing. How?
I just want to ask, as strong as you guys are, are you attracted to beta men? Like, do you want a soft-spoken guy? Do you want a guy that is comfortable playing second fiddle? He being your sidekick, he being Robin to your Batman? Like, is that what y'all looking for?
The fake betas is for me. They fake. Because really, when it come about that bread,
fake betas is.
Yeah,
I've never
I'm
heard
gonna call
that.
them a fake bread
alpha beta
because
kinda,
it's like
I guess
in
you
a
call it.
public speaking, like in a social setting, they may be like, oh, women may look at them, oh, this is the laid back guy, the guy that doesn't really say too much, the guy that's chill. But on real actuality, that nigga got a bang on his mind. He trying to do this, that, this, that, this, that. He not worried about everything else that's going on. He's just worried about how he can get to where he wants to be in life. And that is the only thing that, not the only thing, but that's one of the major things that drives him.
So you want to get money.
Not even just that, above all things,
but
what he's here for.
But you want him to be focused on what he's doing, but let you have your way.
It's not even that. Let me have my way.
That's what it sounds like.
No.
Not give it let me have my way.
It's not let me have my way at all, because if you let me run over you, that's corny.
So then what you then
I want someone that knows that what they want to do, but at the same time, how can we sit down and talk about, okay, I got these goals, you got these goals. Where we meeting at in the middle?
So then that to make him an alpha.
Absolutely.
So then it's not a beta at all.
No, but I call him a secret because in public, people might take him as, because he's not saying too much. He not an alpha.
Oh, you don't want to over
sometimes alpha men don't have to say nothing.
Right.
I feel
it's the aura.
Yes. And me, I need to be checked. Okay, I'm that kind of person. I need to be checked. But it's a way to check me. Because
is it a smooth?
Yeah, it gotta be a smooth check, like with a felt tip pen, because I'm aggressive naturally as a person.
Right.
Take out the female.
Do you ever go up top on people?
You try to ask her if she punch on people?
Not no more, no.
Not no more.
No, I'm not putting my hand. No, I've outgrown that. Not putting my hands on them. First of all, when I did used to rumble guys, I never threw my hands at nobody and did not expect to swing back. I was never one of those females. If I'm going to throw my hands at you, I'm going to expect to swing or throw something back. Try to body slam because I'm going to back up. Don't let them grab you.
Come on. We knew. They won't get me. They won't slam me.
Don't let them grab you. I'm just saying, don't let them grab
Back
you.
up. Like, all right.
Heavyweight tag team is
All right.
Going
All
nuts.
right. Like,
Yeah, like, no, I definitely don't do that anymore. I definitely, like no, we not about ladies. I told you before, keep your hands off of
and
these
stay on
men.
your toes.
Yeah, stay on your 10 toes, but keep your hands off these men. But if you swing on anybody, man, female, child,
You better be
anything,
prepared.
Be prepared. So absolutely not.
So my thing is like, what part of the relationships are you looking for the men to actually lead in?
When it comes to,
You might gotta keep this question with Ana, because to be honest with you, I don't even know what I want.
I love her because we just had this conversation the other day and she really just said that to me.
I
Like
don't
2
even
days
know
ago.
what I want. Like
I
I
don't
like
know.
the concept of relationship, but
I don't know.
I get
But
bothered.
like when it comes to like knowing what you want to do, I think for me personally, because I'm not so judgmental to the point where I feel like, oh, you gotta have it mapped out down to the detail, to the cent, to the coin, to the dollar, to the point, to the da 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 da. No, have an idea about what you want to do. Sit at the table with me and talk about it and see how we can come to an agreement. Oh, I want to move to New Zealand. Well, why?
Right.
What's the industry like there? How is the cost of living? What are the education systems like? What can we do as far as fun? All that type of stuff. Because I'm that kind of person. So, like, have these sensible conversations with me first. That's where I'm at with it. I don't know about anybody else. Where you, like,
No.
I don't know.
you just don't know? That's what you mean.
All right, you off the hook if you just don't.
Yeah, you good.
I do know. I know, because I got to have a conversation.
I mean, I don't know what I want. That's what I mean. Excuse me when I say that. But as far as leadership, like again, I'm an alpha female, so I like alpha males. Again, it's just a way to talk to me. Like I can have a conversation about anything. You can tell me anything in the world, I don't care how good or bad it is.
I think
That's just
I
what
think
I'm
I'm an
saying,
alpha
put it out
male,
there.
right? Like I feel like I lead pretty strong, right? But sometimes I definitely invite collaboration with my wife.
I love
Communication
that.
is
Yeah,
key.
like-
You have to
like-
talk to me.
Like we gonna probably do what I want to do, but I ask what you think if you got a better suggestion. But we gonna probably do where I'm headed because I'm probably on point already. You know what I
That
mean?
matters, though. That really matters.
Yeah.
Because
It's the
honestly,
confidence and
for me
leadership
personally,
thing,
I will
too,
say
yeah.
I can like really relate to her because trusting a man to lead is something new for me. It's never been a situation where like it's like I've always had my own personal goals, but to actually build with someone that you don't have like any basis with, period, and you're just meeting, it's a new experience.
You know
You know what I'm saying?
in my
Right.
marriage, I feel like to even have earned her trust that way was big because she was kind of like
Come on, Lou.
she was doing it dolo. She didn't
on.
move back home after college. She just
Okay.
stayed down here. So
Okay.
like she had got on her feet, got her own thing, and I knew that was hard for her to like kind of give up. But it was like I'm gonna earn your trust in this. Like I got us. Like let me steer the ship. You know what I mean? And she trusts me in that. And that kind of is like I don't think every dude deserved that too.
They do.
No.
Right, yeah, that's a fact.
Thank you.
I've been the
my-
man in a
Can
relationship,
y'all like
so I
zoom in
know
on
every
his
dude
face
don't
when he
deserve
said that? Thank you. We
Because-
stand by that.
Right.
You know, and it's another thing that I want to say before we get to the next segment. Like sometimes in a relationship, like you have earners and you have like who's talent and you have who's like the stability,
Right.
Like talent, like that might be the person that's not home a lot because they out there earning because their talent is gonna bring the money. They might be
big
in
bucks.
IT,
The bacon.
they're the talent, right? So they might steer the ship a little bit, but like you might have the job, like we talked about it, like mom might have a job that's a little bit more reliable to pick up the kids, coordinate.
Right,
You the
yeah.
stability. You make the house home. You know what I mean? But even though I'm the talent, I work in the TV industry. I gotta travel back and forth to LA, and it
Right.
look pretty. But like sometimes the talent be the woman.
Right. That's a
She
fact.
could be some registered nurse. She could be in the delivery room or something. And she the
Absolutely.
talent.
Right.
So as a guy, you might be like, I didn't picture my life as being with these kids all the time. But what you gonna do when Shorty coming back with $160?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Well, sit
You
your
gotta
ass
figure.
right
You gotta
there.
figure it out.
She the talent.
There you go.
What you want her to do? She got her own practice. She counseling and therapist. You know what I mean? She got to go to work.
That's a fact.
But you got to, as a guy, I don't think guys think of it like that. Like, we not we not out here beating our head against the wall because a lot of women make much more money than men, for real, bro.
It's true.
Like,
Come on now in
Men that they
2022.
dating, Yeah.
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 And we just read something, we just put something in the group chat the other day about like how the more entrepreneurs are women these days.
Oh yeah.
With our color.
Yeah.
All day. Let's represent for real. And it's been like that for the past couple years though.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Dre. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off.
Oh no, you good. What made y'all start to each his own?
Because we have conversations like this all the time.
A lot to say.
It literally started with a conversation like this. We started our podcast like
the podcast.
one, yeah, but at the
4 hour
table,
conversation, pie, and sitting at the table.
at the table, and then it was just like 6 months of doing that, and then it was just like someone said it to us 6 months before we even decided to be like. We woke up one day, we was like, we gonna get on live, and we gonna talk to these people. We gonna see
Right.
what's gonna happen, and ever since then, it's been a hit.
So what y'all was just doing it like amongst friends at first at the table, or like it was just y'all?
A whole bunch of our friends, mainly guys, told us that we have a lot to say.
Oh, that's hard.
So like
And it happened a few times over the years, and we like, what? They're like, y'all should do
a
radio
podcast,
show, or
yeah,
podcast.
something. And I'm like, what? I'm laughing like,
I'm
are they
like, I talk to people all day. I don't got time to be talking to somebody outside of work. That was me. I don't got time to talk to somebody. I don't no, thank you. But it came up some more and some more. Like you said, 6 months at the table.
Yep. Just curating different topics that we felt like would be conducive to like our culture.
Right.
Things we should discuss. And things we had a lot to say about. And it's just like, oh, wow. Do we really want to say anything? Because like maybe we don't have a seat at this table. And
And
it's
we
like,
didn't know
why
who was
not?
going to be interested and who wasn't. We just
Right.
like, all right, well,
We
we
gonna
going
do
to
it.
pick a day out the week where we know we can both do it.
And we gonna go
We know
live.
being Sunday, we going to go live and
We drop every
just
Sunday.
going to do it.
That's a fact.
And I think it
Since
was
2020.
like, because of course when we went live, it wasn't 100 people, it wasn't 50 people that joined, but I think it was the first
Consistent, like at least.
consistent
yeah.
that handful
Right.
of people that was
Yeah.
just like that just kept coming and enjoying the conversation, and we just did it.
Wrote off of that.
That's dope.
No, just talk about some of, because we super heavy in the podcast space too.
Absolutely.
This is
We got a couple questions to ask y'all too.
this is our second, go around with podcast. Like, talk about some of the struggles, because sometimes I'll be describing like what it's like to be a podcaster, and a lot of people don't like understand like the struggles you have trying to like everything from equipment to like recording, uploading, editing, like how you promote your show, like how you manage the social media. Like, just talk about some of the struggles to like capture an audience.
I don't think people realize how new that podcasting still is.
I don't think people realize that it's really just me and you.
Yeah.
Until literally April of 2022.
Yeah.
And like I just said 30 seconds ago, we've been doing this since 2020.
Like,
And 6 months before that.
I'm a social worker. I don't know nothing about
Me too.
the technical stuff, the media, mass communications, and all of that. So,
Right.
sitting down in front of a computer and just teaching myself. I went to YouTube University, started doing my research. I was actually still obtaining my master's at the time. So actually a few of the things that we needed to start to look into. So I'm like, let me just start looking in the podcasting industry, seeing what's going on, what's what, getting some numbers and all of that. So while I was getting my degree, I actually used that as like some of the studies and the researches in my courses.
Right.
So I started to like learn a little bit, and I was going back to Ana like, all right, listen, this says this and da-da-da-da, so maybe we start doing this. We was looking at different videos about like social media tactics and what to do and how to get yourself out there, how to get your brain growing and all of that. So it was just little by little that we tried to get, and it was, the struggle was, again, it's just her and I,
Right.
social workers,
And
trying to run a podcast, like you said. So y'all see this equipment, y'all see these lights and all this other stuff in the background. It's just us. So we, if anybody who's watched our show from the beginning, we started at our dining room table, and
Right.
now we're at a whole different studio. So that transition alone, we had so many days. I was just like, Ana, I don't think this episode going to air, and it might be the last one if it does, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to put up with this audio not working on one episode, but we just got the video, or vice versa.
Right.
Trying to learn different systems with Adobe Premiere and all of that. Like, I don't
Creative
know none
Cloud.
of that stuff. Like, all I know was iPhone. Okay, like literally. So I started like following like different influencers in the podcast industries, trying to figure out
Right.
different things. And again, we just literally day by literally, and we're still learning to this
Day by day.
to this day. Okay, day by day on like how to curate and get just better and better at our craft. Because at the end of the day, I'm overworking the 9 to 5, so.
And for me, like, I'm a person that's like, I'm really into natural hair and stuff like that. So, like, for me, like, a lot of the influencers I follow, like, they are really, like, self-driven women, black women. And I follow them. Like,
Right.
they are smart. They are courageous. They are out here getting at $1. They got houses by themselves. They ain't got no kids. They got, like, homes that's $500 grand. They putting work into these homes. They getting it remodeled. And I'm just looking like, that could be me. That could easily be me. And these women put in work. Like, not saying they didn't put in work. They put in work. I'm talking about before YouTube and, like, all this influencing stuff took off, these women have been putting in work for, like, 4 and 5 years consistently. So I take that into account. And that's why, and like, people laugh at me. Like, you be watching these hair tutorials? Yeah, I got hair. First of all, number one. Number two, they are all self-employed women.
Right.
Who are empowering me and telling me I can do whatever they're doing. The same way that's right there, that's how they record themselves.
Right.
They're just now figuring out it takes a team. A lot of them are. A lot of them are figuring that out.
Right.
And they've been doing this way longer than we have. So it's like, what does that say to you? Oh, okay. Let's figure out who can do better.
To be
who
honest,
can help me?
We actually got it easy. I feel like those of us who just like starting to come into space within like the last 5 years or so.
Right.
With all this different technology and stuff that we have, the people who like how she's talking about, the influencers who've been grinding in space for like 10, 15 years, who just are allowed to have the current technology kind of benefit their space and their brands. They've been working for a long time. So I think the key is just to stay consistent. Like no matter what, every single Sunday we went live and we kept recording. No matter how many people could have got on live.
Right.
Yep, and we were still there.
Going, we gonna still be there. One person could have got on. We talking to one person. We're having a conversation amongst
Eventually,
consistency is just key across the board. I know people hear that over and over. Clearly, I'm not the person to brand that statement. It just is what it is. It's just a part of the business brand.
But honestly, to piggyback off it, that's why they say hard work beats talent these days, because it really do.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to this kind of platform. It
Think
really
about
does.
one-hit wonders versus legends.
That's a fact.
Sorry, y'all.
Nah, you good.
Go ahead.
Can y'all give us y'all top 3 episodes
Of our show.
of y'all show? Yeah.
Damn.
People gonna
First of all,
tune-
one of the top 3 episodes that we have, and honestly, because beforehand, like, we don't want y'all to ever feel like y'all above anything or we above anything. Like, we love y'all equally. Like, things happen. So
Right.
we had an anniversary show, right? I want to let you in on a little secret. We don't got no video for that shit at all.
No, it was all hiccups, all
And
audio.
we were so upset about that. And honestly speaking,
Close it out.
like, it didn't even matter.
That was still one of my favorite episodes.
It was one of
the
our
anniversary
favorite
episodes.
episodes.
Is definitely
The anniversary
our
one.
1 year anniversary episode.
The Girl Boss episode, for me personally, was number 2. You said top 3?
Top 3, yeah. Like
And then the Fellas in Finance was my other 3rd episode, because honestly, the connections, the conversation they had afterwards, how they were speaking to us, how they were even meshing on camera was just everything to us. So yeah, that was for me my top 3. And they were like
Come on,
two
Chrissy.
black smart men talking about money. You can't go wrong with that.
Right.
She took him from me.
Uh-oh.
She took him from me, and I'm mad that it's 3 and not 5 because
Well, give us 2 more.
it's a hard one. Because
And y'all
that girl,
too.
I said, yeah, because your episode with
Was
the girl
really
episode,
good.
This is like that was
Really
right
good.
there, like.
With the Fellas in Finance,
Yeah,
right?
like it was really good.
Yeah.
And I'm mad to say that like our favorite episodes were all with like guests, but I feel like we're only saying it because they're the easiest to pinpoint and remember.
Right.
Of course, there's so many other episodes where it's just us.
That's
saying
true.
so
That's
much
true.
stuff.
That's true.
I have so many that like when we go back and listen to the episodes before we publish them and while we editing and all that, I'm just like, yo, Ana will tell you, I will call her, I will text her, yo, this shit was great.
Yeah.
And again, episodes with guests are just much more easy.
They stand out more. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
They stand out more.
I think it stand out more because it's like you got to create this chemistry on camera. Like
Right.
I don't know everybody that I sit down with, so it could be my first conversation with somebody. And
Absolutely.
that's
Right.
the first conversation I had with them, and all of you about to see this.
Right.
Like, that's crazy. Like
And
that's a crazy
That
skill.
actually is the opposite for us. Everybody that we've sat down with,
Y'all knew.
we knew.
We actually knew.
Yeah.
But minus us, like, just bringing you guys on.
Yeah.
We kind of had a mutual respect. We can honestly
Yeah.
say that sitting on camera, like, yo, we really do this.
Right,
Like,
yeah, that's
honestly.
a fact.
So it's no disrespect to neither one of our platforms. It's like, yo, just come on and bring you and do what you do.
And we'll figure it out. Yeah.
And we were very confident in it, and that's exactly why it flowed the way it flowed, because we had confidence in y'all and y'all platform and how y'all like present yourselves for us personally.
You know why it's easier to remember the guest episodes? Because like you don't talk to that person all the time.
Absolutely.
Y'all talk every day. So like we talk every day. So like we might be on here talking about something that we've done talked about a million times. So it's like it don't really stand out to you because it's like, oh, that's just my friend. We had this conversation a million times. But when you talk to somebody you don't know, then it's like, oh, I kind of remember that. So it's
We'll do that putting together seconds. I'm like, all right, we gotta stop talking about this right now.
Yeah.
We potting right now. We gotta save it for when we get on camera.
we at that point too.
Yeah, same thing.
We over
Same
here
thing.
like,
Every conversation is a
pull,
pod.
right, we
Yeah.
gotta pull back. I'm like, all right, I cannot
Yeah,
talk to
same
you as
thing.
much because, like you said,
Every conversation is a
Yeah,
pod.
same thing.
like I show so much of like daily life. So like like I'll tell him like something my kids did, and he be like, man, that's a story for the pod, bro.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like I'd be like, you know,
I be trying to have the organic laugh, like I heard it for the first time.
Right. That's really how it is.
Andre.
I'm keeping it a beat.
Like, damn, that would have been good.
Right, like, that's how it go.
No, I got one more question for y'all.
Y'all questions were so. Can we just stop them right here and say, listen, y'all, they questions was good. Go ahead. Y'all did this. Come on, y'all.
So according to the pod, like you know, just keeping on the podcast subject,
Absolutely.
what are some of your short-term goals and long-term goals for your platform?
Long term, I do enjoy podcasting a lot. And it's something I think I know when we had a conversation recently, I just was talking to you about it. I had a few supervisors like in my 9-to-5 jobs in the past that was like, you are not going to work for anybody for the rest of your life. Like you just don't have that.
Absolutely.
Like you're going to be a boss of some sort. Like that's just who you are. Like you barely listen to us, but you come to us with resolution, based solutions. So it is what it is. So with that long term, I would like to see myself, I guess, doing this full time.
Okay.
Short term, I just want to be able to get to a consistency where we have a live base show, at least on an annual basis.
Absolutely.
And actually get out there and engage with the people because I'm a game night partier, get on the ottomans, shake my ass kind of person, have a good time, when it's appropriate. So, yeah, I want to get out there, meet the people, vibe,
Yeah.
Like how we get together and vibe on the pod.
Right.
I want to get out there with our audience, the people who actually support us, and get it cracking with them at least on an annual basis. That would be my short term.
So while we on camera, I just need to ask y'all going to this. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. You're going to this first pod thing? It's the
Black Podcasters Association.
There you go. What is it called though? The first annual Pod Fest. That's what it's called. And it's in Brooklyn, New York. And I wanted to know if you guys were gonna go to that because I just recently got hip to that, and it's the first annual, and I think we should all.
But you just making us hip to it.
No, I
actually
think
two. So
because I want you guys to come.
That one is hosted by, and I think they're both actually happening in August. That was one hosted by
August
Black
20th.
Effect Podcast Network, and there's another one hosted by like a small network that has come together on like the East Coast for.
Absolutely.
That's called the Black Podcasters Association.
Mm-hmm.
If we all carpooling, I'll go.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like I just feel like we should all be there.
We just should take my car. I got the car
I do.
seat, so I'm not taking them out.
Oh, man.
I mean,
taking the
we
car
can make it a trip if we want to invite a few people. We got a 14 passenger van that we can. I'm saying
Yeah, she has to hook up. So let us know.
Sound like a plan.
heard
I'm
it.
with it. I'm with it.
right here
I'm
first.
with it.
Heard it here first on More Than a
14
Dad podcast.
We got a
Understand?
professional driver here, so I guess it worked too.
Chill, bro.
Yeah, the person who owns
Yeah,
it too.
we got two. That's right. We got one. Right.
Y'all want to switch like his
Hey yo. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
You know what? It's time for you to go because you just embarrassed me.
You ain't even got your goals.
My goals.
Long time
Honestly, for my show, I really want to see much more growth. I want us to have collaborate with more guests from the city that are trying to do big things, who have visions like we do. I also want to see more women be like comfortable in their skin. Honestly, I feel like women like hold back a lot. No, really, honestly. Y'all think we say what we want to say, but to a certain extent, we don't. I don't care how unpopular that thought is, but we here. And we're going to stay here. And y'all going to see us. And that's what it is. And it's T-Ho all day. Period.
Her goals are my goals and vice versa.
Oh, my goodness.
We are a team.
I just want to see more of our city together, especially in the podcasting space. I've like a lot of us don't know each other. A lot of us are just getting started. A lot of us are just trying to figure out what we're going to do. So that's right.
No, keep it a being. When I look at other podcasts, I be thinking like, who gonna be around a year from now with us? Like that's what I be thinking.
Same.
Wow.
So I be trying to assess.
Right.
A lot of people fall off.
Yeah, I be assessing people real seriously. Like
Lou be real critical. Period.
That's how
It's not a bad thing though, Lou.
I don't mean to be because I'm not really judgmental, but I don't want to get
thinking
in.
ahead.
You're just real about certain things.
I get invested. Like I'm invested in you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like y'all gotta be around as long as I'm around. Like you know what I mean? I need to be able to call you like, yo, you ever had this problem before? Like
Yeah. No, for real. Seriously.
Right.
And we respect
I
y'all
feel like there's
so
other
much.
successful pods in the game now and shows and all of that who've done the same exact thing.
Absolutely.
So I'm with you on that. Like I want to be able to build and grow with you. And while I'm grinding to look to the left and know we doing the same thing,
Right.
we're doing
That's
the
a
same
fact.
amount of time and all of that. So I'm with you on that.
Well, I got my knees in the dirt. Absolutely.
Can you tell the people where to find y'all show?
Everywhere, man.
Oh yes. So anywhere
Instagram.
you listen to your
YouTube.
podcast.
Yes.
Instagram is To Each His Own 215 podcast, and that is To Each His. Yes, we
own.
are hers, but it is
it's
To Each His Own podcast.
Yes.
YouTube is To Each His Own 215 pod. It's just
Absolutely.
POD pod on YouTube and anywhere you listen to your podcast on audio.
Find us on Instagram and all them links is in the bio, yo.
Yep, Linktree bio
That way.
there. Also, my personal page, you can find me at Miss MISS period Lomax LOMAX, and all the links to the podcast are there as well. I'm also on Twitter at No Shade, but I'm Chrissy Bitch on Twitter. So, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter. It's been years. But I am on Instagram.
Twitter lit. Y'all still on Twitter?
The pod got a Twitter.
Yeah, we got a Twitter.
Twitter's still lit. I'm
Good
just
for y'all.
Oh.
Sorry.
Our
Sunkissed
manager on
Chalk.
Twitter.
You know, Sunkissed Chalk is nothing extra, no underscore. I took that out a couple months ago. So Sunkissed Chalk, it's on Instagram, and just find me there, and you'll see the link in the bio, and you can listen to my show. Period.
This was so dope.
Facts.
I love y'all.
We appreciate.
Y'all so laid back. We so hype.
We appreciate. It's the
It's
contrast.
like exclamation points to the left, periods to the right.
Oh, it was the English lesson for me.
It was
I'm sorry.
APA format right there.
Right, she's going crazy.
Listen, IUP will be well, okay?
Listen, man, cite your
We-
sources.
Yeah, we appreciate.
All that.
We
Do not
appreciate
get
y'all
taxed.
for coming.
Thank you.
We appreciate y'all a lot, and we appreciate y'all for having us on y'all show.
Yes, thank you guys.
If we never said that.
y'all for
Thank you,
inviting us
thank
back.
you.
Yeah.
We love more than a dad. You know we daddy's girls, so love y'all out there.
More than these dads and our dads.
Cheers, niece.
All right. Until next time, make sure you check out our merch and our bio. We got off the cup. We got to get out of here, guys. The support has been unbelievable.
Fact.
We 6 months running. We plan to keep it running. Joe, you got anything?
Nah, bro.
Until next time. Join the More Than a Dad family by following us on Instagram, subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to join our Facebook group for daily questions, motivation, dad jokes, and new dad tips. If you enjoy our podcast, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Be sure to like, comment, and share our content with other parents. Last but not least, make sure you check out our new merch. The link is in the bio of our Instagram as well as the description of this YouTube video. We are truly grateful, and thanks for supporting More Than a Dad.
More than a dot, more than a dot.